About Mineski going to the Korean boot camp and some Facebook memes right there, but for me it's like a fiesta for the fans because it doesn't matter where do you practice, it's matter more about yourself and your team. So maybe Mineski have a good chances, but we're in a tournament, so sorry.
No need to say sorry. I think I completely agree with Nextar's point there because it all comes down to how you carry yourself and how you enter the mentality in the group stages. So guys, looks like we'll be switching up the casters. My name is Vulcan, with me is Crazy Apple. Thank you so much for tuning in to the GCM group stages day 3 for Group A second day. And of course, coming from match number 1, looks like Mineski from their first day of the group stages kind of shifts things up and got their first victory.
Yeah, and it also looks like Mineski woke up in a sense because that was a really dominating game from them against Resurgence. I believe the kill score at the end was 15-1. And I also think that a lot of our Filipino fans out there are pretty excited right now.
But more exciting is how Ascension Gaming and Team Anything will face off against match number 2. So for the viewers just joining us right now, we really welcome you back to our stream. And of course, we'll try our best to give you a short recap of match number 1. So, as Crazy Apple mentioned, it all comes down to how Philippines teams Mineski tried their best. Looks like finally woken up.
Yeah.
And finally got their first victory on your screens here. These are the standings for Group A.
Yeah, and the current standings is Ascension Gaming does secure that first spot with that 3-0 score because of the day 1. They did sweep the group. Resurgence now stands at that 2-2. They just suffered that loss against Mineski, and we see here that Mineski has that 1-3 while Team Anything is 1-2. We'll see if Ascension Gaming in this next game will get their first loss or will they keep on padding their stats and secure that first spot with their 4th win.
It's hard to say, but the way that Ascension Gaming looked in day 1, I gotta say, Team Anything has a work cut out for them. But right now, going into match 2, we gotta talk about Ascension Gaming's performance in day number 1. Key players, I would say, is definitely G4. I mean, on the mid lane, he's the one, especially the Rice pick. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe, and hopefully, Team Anything will try and pinch his pull, or at least remove the Rice, where we did see the Thailand region used it very well.
Yeah, exactly. And at the same time, for Ascension Gaming, they showed that the Rice pick is not only used well by their mid laner, also by Rocky in the top lane. So I believe a Rice ban against Ascension Gaming is a smart ban. But also we gotta mention that even though they had Lloyd that got switched from the AD carry position or the bot lane position towards that jungle, he has performed really, really well for Ascension Gaming, essentially dictating the pace of the early game for the team.
And for Team Anything right there, I mean, we did see the performance, quite a surprise, I would say, from the second seed of Malaysia. So, Team Anything, in a way that they did well in day 1, okay, they got their 1 victory. But now they're facing up against the first seed of Thailand, and I think we can all agree here, guys, that they are one of the strongest teams in Group A.
Yeah, I would agree that Ascension Gaming is the strongest team right now. But at the same time, if we do remember, the single win of Team Anything was against Mineski. But at the same time, even though they did get that win, it felt like it was more of a steal against Mineski, since Mineski was leading the first 25 minutes of the game, and that one crucial team fight where Team Anything won that and instantly keep it to the base of Mineski and eventually won that game.
And looks like we'll be ready to move on to drafting phase here, Crazy Apple, on to match number 2 of Ascension Gaming on the blue side versus Team Anything on the red side. Kings of the Sea, I gotta say, Group A looks really good for them. Starting bans on phase 1, Shen being removed.
Yeah, and right now, we'll see what Team Anything bans first. I would predict that they'll be banning some of the more OP picks we've been seeing, and apart from the usual Aatrox ban that we've been seeing for the past few days.
Aatrox. In a way, we did see some Aatrox stops, especially Shiny's Aatrox had a nightmare in the top lane. He has been constantly camped, but in the end, TAT won at least 1 game on day 1, so that's good for them. But for Team Anything, they will answer that Shen ban with a Morgana.
Yeah, and so far, we see that Shen and Morgana both are support picks per se, and we see the Nocturne ban from Ascension Gaming, which we have been seeing a huge priority for these teams for the past 3 days.
Nocturne is one of those junglers that can go under the radar, and sometimes you won't really notice it. And when the time you notice it, it's a bit too late, and that's gonna be the time you have to pay the price. So looks like Ascension Gaming, they don't want to deal with it. Let's just remove it. I mean, coming from day one, let's still march forward to day two with a clean slate.
Yeah, talk about how it's hard to notice a Nocturne. It's even harder when he uses his ultimate because you really don't have any vision of where he might be coming from. And we see the second ban from Team Anything. They do take away that Aatrox.
Look at that. Aatrox that has been picked in match 1. It's the fact that we're seeing most of the time 100% pick and ban rate for Aatrox, but not at the same time great success in terms of laning.
Yeah, and well, except for, I believe, the earlier game, Shinsekai, yeah, he did had that day 1 game where he was, I believe, 0-8 at one point. I think he ended at around like 10 deaths, but they still won. And that shows the strength of this pick at the same time. I just believe that Aatrox sometimes is not utilized well enough by these teams, but at the same time, he does fall off earlier on, or he falls off harder than before because of the prevalence of a lot more marksman picks that we've been seeing.
Speaking of marksman, we don't see much bans in the marksman's pit here, but right now for Ascension Gaming, they will pick up the Camille. Can go topside. We did see it perform really well. A powerful split push, but can also go jungle. Trundle is one of the favorite picks that we've seen throughout the group stages. Right now, TAT, they're deciding. Kassadin, one of the mages that we did peg as not to be surprised, guys. Don't be surprised. But at the same time, Kassadin can be a high-risk scenario for Team Anything.
Yeah, also, this is probably a blind pick Kassadin from Team Anything. So it's pretty easy for the other team, especially Ascension Gaming, to counter-pick this champion right now. And I'm actually waiting if they are gonna lock in their second pick. Yes, they do. They're gonna lock in that Varus pick.
We did see Rebecca play marksman. I mean, we know that Varus has been this favorite, or rather, no choice marksman in group stages here in the run. But right now, Team Anything will close it off with Varus, but Ascension Gaming will try and deny some protection there. They're hovering on this Alistar. It could still be switched up. We do see maybe... One of the things that we want to see was the Swain and Pike that we always pick. We did see before, it didn't have much success here, but looks like Ascension Gaming will be picking up the Alistar and the Kai'Sa combo.
Well, they're now hovering over several marksmen, and I do believe that G4 has that tendency to just hover picks. But right now, I'm actually questioning the picks from Team Anything that they did immediately pick that Kassadin and Varus, and I was just about to say that Ascension Gaming does not need to pick their mid laner at this point since they can hide it for longer, since they know what Team Anything already has picked in that Kassadin, and they do lock in that Ezreal, and it looks like Team Anything might be going for that Tahm Kench.
No way. I get it. You want the protection for the Varus, low mobility, but at the same time, if ever Tahm Kench eats up the Varus, and he's the one being locked down, they're both not getting anywhere. So that's something that TAT needs to think, and maybe we'll be seeing a cleanse, or who knows. But right now, Team Anything has yet to secure a jungle, so I think phase 2 banning phase will look very interesting here.
Yeah, and I would expect from Team Anything, yes, they do ban that Talia. They're probably gonna ban either more jungle picks just to secure that Lloyd will be playing that Camille. We haven't seen Lloyd play that Camille, but at the same time, we can also expect Team Anything to ban out G4, which I believe that's where that Talia ban is more targeted to.
Okay, we're still seeing this Rise left open here by both teams. Are they trying to bait it in? Low, they will remove the Fiora. Maybe they're trying to peg or start things up in the top side for a tank.
They might, or they just not want to have a really strong split pusher to be picked by Ascension Gaming, since we've seen Rocky has really good performances in day 1, and if Rocky is able to use this Fiora to great effect, he can just probably take over the game. And we see Team Anything right now banning that Zed, limiting the options for Ascension Gaming to counterpick that Kassadin.
I mean, we know that G4 loves assassin mid lane champions there. Looks like TAT kinda targeted one of his pocket picks, but that's in history right there. But for Ascension Gaming, time's ticking. Last ban. Let's see what they can dish out here. Fiora, our powerful split pusher, and I guess we did see some aggressive plays from the Jax jungle, heavily camped, and maybe they don't want to deal with it here.
Yeah, and I believe the one who used Jax jungle was Team Anything. Eyebrows was the one who was using that, and he kept camping the top lane. at
That's
that
pretty
time.
good.
Yeah, and right now we'll see what Team Anything would be picking in their second pick phase, and they do jump on that Sejuani.
Okay, so now they have the jungle here. Ascension Gaming must decide. This Camille. Enough mind games here. Time to show where this Camille is going. Is going to be top, jungle, or not to mention, last picking for G4. This is a blind pick Kassadin. So Kassadin, a blind pick, what kind of mentality does Team Anything has right here?
It feels like they're trying to bait out the Rise pick. They're daring Ascension to pick the Rise against Zare using that Kassadin in the mid lane. But on the other hand though, we see Ascension Gaming locking in that Kindred, which tells us that that Camille is going to the top lane.
I like this Kindred pick into a Sejuani. Sejuani has terrible clear time, not that fast as Kindred, so maybe we can see Lloyd aggressively invading his jungle, but looks like, okay, they're gonna be falling for it.
Yeah.
Yes, they will finally lock in that Rise that we've seen all throughout in day one for Ascension Gaming.
Yeah, and with that Rise lock in, you'd feel that Ascension Gaming got what they wanted, even though we did see that that Rise was a really strong pick from their team. But right now, Team Anything does lock in their picks, and last pick, that Renekton, probably going to Shiny in the top lane.
So Renekton Camille, you want to pick a very powerful top laner such as Renekton. We did see in match 1, Atrox was there, so why not answer it with Renekton? We still see it here for Team Anything, and now Ascension Gaming at this point will look very interesting for Team Anything here. In a way, we can all agree here that Ascension Gaming got everything they want, but maybe TAT are thinking something, trying to bait that pick, but we'll see on Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, and just talking about a bit of the compositions right now for these two teams. Team Anything has that really strong tank line with that Sejuani. Also, Tom Kench helping to defend the two carries from Team Anything, especially that Varus, who would probably be the most targeted champion, especially if Rocky does join those team fights. So we'll see what the interaction would be. At the same time, the Alistar versus Tom Kench matchup is a bit tricky because if the Tom Kench does not time his Devour right on an ally, then it could also cost the life of anyone he eats, because essentially it's the both of them getting knocked up and headbutted by that Alistar.
We can also expect maybe a long laning phase for the bot lane. We do see an Ezreal, same as the Rise. We can see expected tier pickups there. So I think we won't be surprised to see a slow-paced game, but we all know that they can change how the junglers were played. So on your screens right now, the summary of our drafts. For the viewers just joining us right now, we really welcome you back to our GCM Group Stages stream here. Once again, my name is Vulcan. With me is Crazy Apple. Thank you for tuning in. And on your screens, again, it's a summary here. And before we load up to the Summoner's Rift, of course, we want to hear your hashtags. Hashtag ASC win or hashtag TAT win. Let us know in the YouTube chat. But Crazy Apple, any final digest before we move on to Summoner's Rift?
Well, for these two teams, I think that this gonna be one of the make or break games for Team Anything, because we just saw earlier that Mineski won their game against Resurgence, and it feels like it's the Mineski of old that we saw during Rift Rivals and also the qualifiers here in the Philippines. So I would think that Team Anything needs to win this to have a chance to get to the semifinals.
And we're ready to load up the Summoner's Rift. Let us know, and also share this stream with the hashtag Conquerors Manila. And of course, the reason behind everything here, hashtag Roads to Worlds. We're ready to go to Summoner's Rift. Day 2 for Group A. All or nothing here, man. This is going to be Ascension Gaming versus Team Anything. In this day, particular day 3, we know that Group A, they need to step things up here and at most stay in the top 2 to move on to the semifinals.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to see this unique pick, I would say, or rather unorthodox pick from Team Anything on this Kassadin. They put so much priority on this, first picking it, also picking it blind. So we'll see how effective Zare could be on this champion.
And you did mention maybe TAT. They're trying to bait it in the pick of the Rise.
Yeah, I did notice that they were really trying to bait G4 into picking that Rise, essentially not even banning or picking it at the same time since it was open the whole draft. But we'll see if this would bite Team Anything in the back if they do let G4 run away with this game on his favorite Rise pick.
So let's hope that Team Anything's gutsy move, leaving open that Rise that has been a constant threat in our group stages run. I wonder how Team Anything is doing, and also what's the thought process here. But start things up here, guys. Looks like we will be seeing invades here, but more importantly, we'll be seeing the same wards we did see in day one, where this is classic Ascension style here. They don't want to go for those risky invades. They want to just stall the lane, and once they come online, you'd be surprised that Ascension Gaming will be on top of you.
Yeah, and that's what we've been noticing from how Ascension Gaming has been playing their games. They would essentially just stall out the first 10 minutes of the game, then find a small mistake from Team Anything, and they would capitalize on that. At the same time, though, even if another team, their opponents, would try and get an objective on the side of the map, they would always trade it at least so that they could get even.
I mean, 10 minutes in, get away for that. Maybe TAT, this could be the window. They do have a Renekton to try and push back Rocky. But come late game, I mean, we say that a Renekton will fall off, but if you build a Borg, a Greaves, and an Essence Reaver, that's not the type of Renekton that's gonna fall off. We did see it funny. It was a funny build. We did see in our group stages, and I think that was pretty smart.
Yeah, and that was actually done by Rocky in the top lane against Mineski's Kaigu, and that would work against tank picks, especially at Trogat, since they don't really deal a lot of damage, and if you can just tear down their HP bar, then they would eventually fall down. I doubt it would work against a Camille though, because Camille at the late game deals just enormous amounts of damage, especially if you try to duel her.
Oh, look at that. We're seeing here Lloyd taking 2 Scuttle Crabs. River control for Ascension Gaming.
Yeah, and he did skip out on his blue buff just to secure that double Scuttle Crab, but he did jump over that Baron Pit and is looking for a gank on Shiny in the top lane.
Mark's on you, Shiny. Are you going to get away? Flashing in. Oh, what a mistake! And a gank from Rocky! What an easy first blood going to Ascension Gaming.
Yeah, that was a really, really good gank coming from Lloyd, and also a good interaction from Rocky, securing that CC against Shiny. And that essentially gave them the kill in the top lane.
And I think when it comes to the first blood, that is everything that Ascension Gaming is looking for. So, first blood in the hands of Rocky. That is great news for him. I mean, you want to get starting on this Camille, but looks like TAT looking for something here. Control warrior in place, going in with Assault. Eyebrows is here in the mid lane, but G4 just steps back.
Okay, and right now it looks like with that failed gank though, they just want to feel out G4. They just want to give and relieve some of the pressure that Arise does have in the mid lane, since he does have a lot more lane priority and wave clear essentially against a Kassadin who doesn't really have a lot of wave clear, since his only AoE spell is that E early on, and when he gets to level 6, you don't really see a lot of Kassadins using his ultimate, essentially his only way to escape to clear the wave.
I wonder how ZR will fare against G4, because we've seen him playing on this Kassadin, yes, but it all comes down to how fast you can get that tier and how quickly you can stack it up. And that's the mind game here. Okay, looks like Rocky. He's gonna fall for the gank here. There is one ward there. TAT trying to pace things up here. In the end, call it quits. Let Eyebrows buy that Chilling Smite and just back off.
Yeah, and Rocky is trying to hold the wave here. He is doing that slow push that we see a lot of top laners actually do when they have a lead, and that's why he's still extending that CS lead. He currently has 37 against Shiny's 18.
You know, when Shiny dies twice in a row on the top side, you know he's in a really bad spot, and that's the time that he will definitely fall off quickly. But right now, 404, he found something here. And the Raptor Camp flashing in, eating up this Kindred. Eyebrows is right there just to go in. Perfrost for the stun and the ignite. And yes, Eyebrows will secure the kill, but at the cost of his own life. Rich will take him down. And for Zier, kind of late to the party. Teleport has been used.
Yeah, and sadly, the kill wasn't taken by G4. It felt like Rich was trying to give the kill to G4, but the ignite slowly burned down and did get the kill.
Oh man, 1-for-1 in the Riverside, but at least we did see Zier going straight to the mid lane. Catches the wave here, but right now Rocky, again, as you said, letting the CS lead expand. Always on top here, 45-26.
Yeah, and the two Renekton picks that we've seen today, both from Kaigo and Shiny, hasn't really shown a lot of strength in the early phases of the laning phase, since we do know that Renekton is a really strong lane bully, but if you were ganked that early by Lloyd and essentially died to that, then you relieve a lot of pressure and gives Camille a lot of control in the top lane.
Oh man, Lloyd has been getting these Scholar Crowns, and that is going to be big. We already see Eyebrows kind of behind in CS, 24-31, opening up the map here. Ascension Gaming not wasting any more time here. Starting the Inferno. Blast Cone over the wall. Next shifts away, and he does also flash over that wall. No escape. He's stuck in the Infernal Pit. Nexar, no summoner spell. He gives a kill to Ravenna.
Yeah, and questionable flash from Nixar right there. I thought he was going to flash towards his tower in the bottom lane or even towards the jungle so that he might reach that blast cone, but alas, he went inside that Baron Pit, was trying to get back the cooldown from his arcane shift, but it did not reach, and he did give up that kill.
It all comes down to how when he went back. Oh man, it's kind of harsh to Nexar here because he did flash back towards the Infernal Pit. So in the end, TAT, well job there getting their kills. But in the end, the Infernal Drake goes to the hands of Ascension Gaming.
Yeah, and right now we just see that both teams are trying to just take in everything that happened and just trying to compose themselves. But I do believe we have a replay on the top lane kill that we missed earlier. You can see here Rocky going into Shiny. Shiny is one level behind Rocky right now. Rocky is level 6, and no, that's just textbook Camille play right there.
That's brutal. That's harsh. That is an easy kill in the back for Rocky. Okay, I was talking about if Shiny gets 0-2, he's pretty much done for as a Renekton. This is what I was talking about. Rocky right now getting a TM and a Tabby can deny so much damage from Shiny's Renekton. So, Rocky's in complete control in the top lane.
Yeah, and with that, essentially, this Camille will be a really annoying champion that Team Anything needs to control later on, but they don't really have that luxury at this point since their mid laner needs to scale up into the game. He does have components for that Rod of Ages. We also discussed, I remember in day one, how Kassadin, we might be seeing him in this tournament, and we do see him now. He did get buffed recently with the Tear of the Goddess, where he can proc stacks from the Tear of the Goddess with his W, since it was given a 1 mana cost. But if the Kassadin does not build that early, and oh, we just saw
Prison misses. That's kind of unfortunate for TAT, but at least Eyebrows is trying to look for something in the bot lane.
Yeah, and good on Nixar and Rich to just get the pressure and dodge away from that gank. But as I was talking about for that Kassadin, if he does not pick or buy that Tear of the Goddess early, I don't think he would have the same amount of scaling that the Kassadin would have, since he did get buffed recently.
And he's going for the row up first, so I wonder how Ascension Gaming will play this out. I mean, for TAT, Zier, I was expecting a tier to be stacked up by this Kassadin.
Yeah, me too, but if he does not buy that though, but we see an engage in the bot lane, but Ravenna did get eaten on time by 404, which, you know, this is what happens here in the bot lane against when you're going against a Tahm Kench.
Great protection there, and that's something that TAT is relying on. I mean, in that moment, they did see, unfortunately, Eyebrows right there in the bot lane. So, look at that. We did see Ascension Gaming. They know how to trade things up around across the map. Wait a minute.
Eyebrows isn't spotted here.
Okay, they don't know it. He's right here. But he doesn't have Glacial Prison. Gets knocked by Rich. Getting slowed. 2 stacks. Unbreakable. It's not gonna be enough. Rich is low. One more shot. Oh, stopwatch. Buying some time. Flashing our way. What a save from Rich.
Yeah, and Rich right there survives. I thought he was gonna die right there, but with that timely stopwatch and the immediate flash when he goes out of stasis, you know, gets him alive. But at the same time now, Team Anything can shove down this wave, and he could probably get a lot of damage in this bot lane turret.
It's all about denying the kills here. Looks like they are pretty much happy here. But can they take away the first turret? We do see the Eye of the Herald in the hands of Lloyd. And I think they don't need to use it on the top side. What an easy first turret. Going to Ascension Gaming.
Yeah, and this shows the control that Rocky has in the top lane right now. He did get the first tower in the top side. But Team Anything, though, on the other side of the map, does trade another turret. But getting the first blood gold for Ascension Gaming and also picking up that Rift Herald, which can be used later on for another siege. Probably they're gonna go for that in the mid lane since the tower is about to fall. Then Ascension Gaming, I guess, won this trade really, really hard.
This is scary because we are seeing Lloyd having the Eye of the Herald. If ever they do still focus in the top lane, Shiny will have a hard time dealing with Ascension Gaming's threat. So right now, Zier finishes off that Roa, gets one stack there. 11 minutes in, that's still okay. But TAT, what kind of plays they can do here? Because now we're seeing Rocky in the bot lane.
Yeah, and I think for Team Anything, they really need to get more picks. They do have that Tahm Kench and that Sejuani, which can set up a lot of picks across the map, especially if the Tahm Kench utilizes his ult well. And if they also have the Varus to lock down one target with that Chains of Corruption, they're trying to get a pick in the mid lane, I believe.
No vision. Eyebrows having the Glacial Prison. Things are looking good for TAT. They're setting it for something in the mid lane. Rich going for the wards. Oh, gets spotted by Eyebrows. Corruption. Chain of Corruption landing. What a double CC lockdown. Lounge Respite saves Nexar's life. Under turret. There's the heal. TAT threw everything and got nothing.
Yeah, and I believe that was a bit of miscommunication coming from Team Anything because Rebena immediately told Ascension Gaming their position, but there is a gank in the bot lane.
3v1, Rocky could not hop over the wall, buying some time with the ultimate, flashing away, flash in from Shiny, flash in from 404. They're trying to find Rocky. Permafrost, headbutt, pulverized combo, over the wall, Rich with the plays, and Rocky still survives. What a heal from the Ezreal, but Rocky gets taken down by Zier, leaving behind Shiny to whip up the red side, cleaning everything. One more Q should do the trick. It's going to be a flash in from Rebena. TAT fighting back, Realm Warp in and out. G4 is here, and it's gonna be Nexarch shifting over the Infernal Pit, taking down the Varus. 404 is left. What a wipeout. Ascension Gaming takes all.
Yeah, and Ascension Gaming wins that fight. I believe it was 4 people that was killed from Team Anything, and that was a fight that both teams were really reluctant to get because the terrain wasn't really to their advantage. And sadly for Rebena, he was trying to be saved by 404. 404 trying to make the hero play, eating him up, throwing him into the Dragon Pit, but Nixar still had enough mana, Arcane shifting in, getting the kill on Rebena.
What a sweep there. Not to mention, guys, Ascension Gaming also gets the Infernal Dame. I mean, that was a long fight, that was intense. Let's check out the replay to see how everything went down.
Yeah, and right here, Rocky was about to be caught out, essentially. 4 members from TAT, but Eyebrows getting immediately bursten down by Rich. So that was the 5th kill, actually, from for Ascension Gaming. They did get that unofficial late ace against Team Anything. And at this point, it's just a lot of skirmishes on a big area of the map. G4 trying to go in here using his ultimate. Nixar just trying his best to survive, and Rebena getting spitted out on that Dragon Pit. Does fall down eventually. Also 404 will fall down here against G4.
Okay, I think I'm checking my watch right now. It's time, and 10 minutes it's up. Not to mention, it's 40 minutes into this game here, and now is the time we're seeing G4 using this rise. I'm scared for TAT, but right now they're trying to make things work here in the red side. Lloyd, Permafrost lockdown, Zier takes the kill.
Yeah, and Zier, he's been kind of just been there for Team Anything, but he's slowly getting his items, slowly getting that gold. He does have that Sheen right now, and he is currently 2-0-0. So that might be the shining moment for Team Anything to wait for Z-Air to get more items and eventually burst them down.
Sejuani Eyebrows having the Glacial Prison, still a control ward in the brush. Ascension Gaming is now in the dark. We did say they had great control here. Okay, Rich cleanses away from Chain of Corruption with his ultimate, focusing on to Ravenna. Ravenna gets taken down by Nexar. He's on the killing spree. And right now, TAT on top of Nexar. What a shutdown goal going to Z-Air. Now Rich, he does not have anything. He does have the flash. Gets eaten up by 404. He's going to save it, giving a double kill to Z-Air again. Right now, TAT taking back this game.
Yeah, and Z-Air is about to be popping off right now. If he goes back, gets more items, completes that Lich Bane, he is 401. This is not a good thing for Ascension Gaming right now. Gazara is getting his item. He's scaling on this Kassadin pick. And I do believe that if Kassadin would get to that point, Ascension Gaming, their carries will not last long.
But we always have to bank on the Rise taking over this game. But we gotta highlight TAT on this one, man. Let's go to the replay.
Yeah, and the replay right here. Oh, this is actually a replay in the bot lane where it's another 1v1 between Shiny and Rocky. I'm not sure who wins here. I didn't notice earlier on. Oh, it feels like Rocky it's gonna take down Shiny, and
it's not a surprise to see that Renekton not lasting long against Rocky. We did see that he was behind in CS, not to mention has yet to complete a cleaver. So Rocky again showing that he's dominating here and he's trying to pressure the bot lane.
Yeah, and even though Team Anything has been winning some of these fights, some of these skirmishes in the mid lane, Shiny is still trying to hold down Rocky in one side lane so that he won't be able to join these fights. But these are the trades that Team Anything right now is willing to take.
Now kill score is 9-9. Next ring is Ocean. Ascension Gaming has double Infernal. This is good stuff for G4. He wants that. Boosting his damage here, but at this point, it's a matter of, okay, we're looking at a Rise, we're looking at the Kassadin, but in the mid lane, it's gonna be another Abyssal for you to engage. Nexar, last respite, let's go, buying time. Ambrose is still in the zone. He is chucking down. In the end, they take down the Astral. Meanwhile, Ravenna for the free hit right there. It's gonna be Rich. Oh, eaten up again by this Tom Fish flushing away over the wall. It's gonna be Shiny going in with the dominance. It's gonna be the finish. Shiny, one more Q. Let's go. Cooldown isn't off. Oh, it's not gonna be enough. Oh, double wipeout in the mid lane.
Yeah, and the same time frame where Lloyd and Shiny were taken down. Shiny does get that Q cooldown, but G4 trying to defend in the mid lane.
Aha! Looks like G4, he does not have Realm Orb. He's gonna be off cooldown. It's gonna be Teleport coming in. Can he buy some time defending the outer mid lane turret? Yes! TAT will back off.
Yeah, and another fight for Team Anything. I do believe they did get the win there, but Rocky just kept on split pushing in the bot lane, gets a second tier bottom lane turret.
You know, when you don't take notice to Rocky, you gotta put some members there in the bot. They deny some push there, but right now Ascension Gaming, they don't care they've lost that mid lane fight. They got what they wanted. Rocky's doing his job there, and for Ascension Gaming, it's only a matter of time where the Baron does spawn. I'm pretty sure that Ascension Gaming will be in a better spot because of pressure that Rocky is doing.
Yeah, exactly. I do agree with that point that if Rocky just keeps on pressuring Team Anything, they're just gonna get pulled apart. But we'll see right now if Ascension Gaming will spring the trap, will put down more wards in the Baron area.
And now, I want to see how Rocky, again, pressuring this bot lane, can he do a good job here? So, it's gonna be how Shiny deals with this Camille. And now we're gonna be seeing some movements in the, okay, look at that red side. It's gonna be cleared out by TAT. They're eyeing the Baron. It's gonna be live in 25 seconds. Sorry, Ben. I gotta hand it towards him. He's trying his best to go in for those free hits. He's doing a great job there. But I like how also TAT, they know how to pinpoint. I mean, okay, you have mobility, you have the shift on this Ezreal. So let's just lock him down so he can't go anywhere.
Yeah, and I think Team Anything also recognizes what we believe to have seen in day one, that Nixar doesn't look like he's always on the same page with Ascension Gaming, and they're trying to pick on that assumption, right? And I do think that it is a valid assumption, and that right now Team Anything, a lot of their picks has started with trying to lock Nixar down.
And now, can they do a good job here again because they're relying on their ultimates? At this point, we don't see Nixa even going for the QSS to deny some form of CC from TAT. Instead, going for the Frozen Gauntlet there. Gonna get his item spike soon. Four more stacks left on his call also. So, right now, Ascension Gaming positioning themselves. TAT does not see it. It's pitch black on that brush. Is sensing something. Approaching the river. Members of Ascension will recall. That's a control wall placed in the pit. Okay, only 2 members will be left in the red side of TAT.
Yeah, and I like what Ascension Gaming is doing here. The last 2 fights where Team Anything did get at least an equal trade or a slight advantage, it was because Ascension Gaming showed themselves in the mid lane or tried to initiate fights. But right now, they're just trying to get more items for their carries, for G4 and for Nixar. Well, for Rocky, he just keeps on applying the pressure, trying to go for that split push. I think it's more of Ascension Gaming right now, trying to bait Team Anything to go for Rocky, and that's when they spring the trap and try and take out Team Anything.
And right now, we're seeing Zier having a 404 KDA. Looks like he's friends with 404 in the bot lane. Wait a minute, I missed the voyage. Realmar will be in time. Yes, what a clean escape from G4.
Yeah, and Rocky on the other side of the map does secure that Ocean Drake for Ascension Gaming. And right now, it just feels like Team Anything has been walking around, has been trying to get these picks, and they still haven't found any.
Oh man. But for Ascension Gaming, they're still not backing up. Look at the minimap here. Rocky is pushing in the bot lane, but TAT is busy in the mid lane. They instantly remove Lloyd. Now they're focusing on the Rich. He's taking a lot of damage. He's trying to back away. 404 catches the Wooden Devourer. Zia going for the kill, but it's going to be Ribena going for the piercing arrow. Now on to G4. He's slow. Zia buying time with the soldiers, and that's going to be Zia going for the tower. And what a play by TAT. It's going to be a wipeout in the mid lane.
Yeah, and Team Anything just won another 4v4 in the mid lane, but Rocky right now taking down the bottom lane inhibitor turret of Team Anything.
A 4v4 fight in the mid lane goes in favor of TAT, but it's the fact that they're putting Rocky in the bot lane, trying to push out the lanes, and that's what they want to go for. But TAT, they have what it takes to stand their grounds in a 4v4 fight against Ascension Gaming.
Yeah, they do, but at the same time though, they're losing a lot of towers, they're losing a lot of objectives on the side lanes of the map. And if Ascension Gaming can just keep on banking on that strength of Rocky right now, then they can probably pull Team Anything into different sides of the map. They won't be able to keep on fighting those 4v4s, and I do believe we're gonna have a replay of that fight. And coming in here in this fight right now, the 4v4, it's just Lloyd jumping into that rush. He did get immediately bursted down when he got stunned by that Glacial Prison. It's just a really good way, a really great way of how Team Anything navigates this fight. G4 tries to go and tries to get more kills, but this zone is right here. Look at the ultimate and flash of Zaret to extend the range of his ultimate and get the kills on the Ascension Gaming members. But at the same time, Rocky does take down Shiny in the bot. That's how they got that inhibitor turret.
And that's still okay. Wait a minute. G4 and all the squad, Ascension Gaming in the pit. Shiny's here. Rocky over the wall. Wow! Instantly chunks down Eyebrows. This is not anymore a 50-50 Baron. They remove Zia. They remove Eyebrows. Right now, it's going to be Ascension Gaming immediately taking down the Baron. Buff. Realmar to the mid lane, flashing in. Ascension Gaming trying to go for the end here. 404 trying to go behind. It's going to be slowed down a bit. Rebina trying to do his best here, but Rocky again for the flag. 404 for the save. He traps himself and it's ADC. And it's going to be a wipeout in the mid lane.
Yeah, and Ascension Gaming with a lot of decisive decisions right there. After that replay, we immediately jumped to the Baron. They took down Eyebrows and secured that Baron, but at the same time, Realm Warping into the mid lane while Rocky immediately flanking around Team Anything, getting an additional 2 more kills, and I believe they can also secure the inhibitor.
Okay, 16 seconds left on Rebina. Can he go for the defense here with 404? Inhibitor is now exposed. They're going straight towards it. Baron buff is really helping out Ascension Gaming.
Yeah, and with that inhibitor take in the mid lane for Ascension Gaming, they essentially destroy or essentially put a hole inside Team Anything's base right now. And right now, just Ascension Gaming looking and taking all of the resources from the map right now so that Team Anything won't have anything to go for when they get out of base.
And now, How will things look for TAT at this point? Because they've lost the Baron, they've lost the inhibitor in the mid lane, but at least the Nexus turret still stands. The Nexus is still alive. TAT can still do something here.
Yeah, and I do believe Lloyd has been stacking up on those Kindred stacks. He's just been getting a lot of those stacks, and I believe he does have 8 stacks at this point, as being told to us by our producers at this point, that he does have that 8 stacks, and it's equivalent to a range of a Caitlyn. So we'll see here how he utilizes that that amount of range, since Ascension Gaming, they just need to keep on kiting these fights, and eventually they can take down Team Anything.
Oh, G4 gets spotted there. Jumping on the rise. Being locked down right there. G4 still alive, and it's going to be a double knock by Rich. We're setting up the fight in the red side. Ascension Gaming redded. TAT wanted to go for the engage, but did not respect the damage coming from Ascension.
Yeah, and Nixar really wanted to join that Realm Warp. Flashes in for that Realm Warp, and I do believe that this will be the end of this game. Ascension Gaming will be taking down Team Anything.
But TAT still stood their ground. We did see some hope, but in the end, Ascension Gaming just wraps it up, closes the door with that decisive play in the red side.
Yeah, and I do believe this will be the 4th win of Ascension Gaming in this group, and with that 4th win, I do believe that they will also secure their spot in the semifinals.
You know, when it comes to how things went in match 2, you get hunted towards Ascension Gaming, but at the same time, TAT still showing a lot of strength in their early phases, but it all comes down to how this Camille top is very powerful. I wouldn't be surprised that we did see bans in day 1 of the group stages on this Camille.
Yeah, and I do believe that it's more of Rocky, really, just being the rock for Ascension Gaming, that he just kept pressuring Team Anything in the side lanes, just kept getting the kills on Shiny, which eventually led to Ascension Gaming just having control over the map. Even though Ascension Gaming was losing a lot of the fights on the 4v4s against Team Anything, and I think that's more of headed by Rybina and Zara and Z-Air in those fights, where Z-Air really got a lot of kills and a lot of gold. But eventually the macro and the rotations of Ascension Gaming gave them a lot more advantages, and getting that Baron secured them the win in this match.
But it's still going to be a tough day for Team Anything here, but for Ascension Gaming, still going clean, 4-0. I think next match is something of a death match for Mineski League of Legends, because coming up next will be Ascension Gaming versus Mineski. If Mineski loses at least any game today, they have lost all hope trying to move on to the semifinals.
Yeah, and you know, if Mineski does lose against Ascension, it's gonna be really hard for them. But at the same time, if we do see Mineski getting that win, then they still have another chance in the last match of the day.
This is Group A. This is going to be the Group of Death. And after the short break, we'll continue to match number 3 with Mineski versus Ascension Gaming. See you there. And thank you so much for watching the GCM Group Stages Day 3. My name is Vulcan. With me is Crazy Apple. We'll be signing up for now. Rocky could not hop over the wall, buying some time with the ultimatum, flashing away, flash in from Shiny, flash in from 404. They're trying to find Rocky. Permafrost, headbutt, pulverized combo, over the wall, Rich with the plays, and Rocky still survives. What a heal from the Ezreal, but Rocky gets taken down by Z-Air, leaving behind Shiny to whip up the red side, cleaning everything. One more kill shoot to the drink. It's going to be a flash in from Ravenna. TAT fighting back, Realm Warp in and out. G4 is here, and it's gonna be Nexarch shifting over the Inferno Pit, taking down the virus. 404 is left. What a wipeout! Ascension Gaming takes all.
Yeah, and Ascension Gaming
cleanses away from Chain of Corruption with its ultimate, focusing on to Ravenna. Ravenna gets taken down by Nexar. He's on the killing spree, and right now TAT on top of Nexar. What a shutdown goal going to Z-Air. Now Rich, he does not have anything. He does have the flash. Gets eaten up by 404. He's gonna save it, giving a double kill to Z-Air again. Right now TAT taking back this game. It's gonna be another business point to engage. Nexar, last spy, let's go, buying time. Ambrose is still in the zone. He is chucking down. In the end, they take down the Astro. Meanwhile, Rebecca for the free hit right there. It's gonna be Rich. Oh, he did it up again by this time. Fish rushing away over that wall. It's gonna be Shiny going in with the dominance. It's gonna be That's gonna be the finish. Shiny, one more Q. Let's go. Q down. Is it off? Oh, it's not gonna be enough. Oh, double wipeout in the mid lane.
Yeah, and this.
But for Session Gaming, they're still not backing up. Look at the minimap here. Rock is pushing in the bot lane, but TAT is busy in the mid lane. They instantly remove Lloyd. Now they're focusing on the Rich. He's taking a lot of damage. He's trying to back away. For catches that wouldn't devour. Zia going for the kill, but it's going to be Rivera going for the piercing arrow. Now on the G4. He's slow. Zia buying time with the soldiers, and that's going to be Zia going for the tower. And what a play by TAT. It's going to be a wipeout in the mid lane.
Yeah, and Team
go behind. It's going to be slowed down a bit. Rivera trying to do his best here, but Rocky again for the flag. 404 for the save. He traps himself, and it's ADC, and it's going to be a wipeout in the mid lane.
Yeah, and Ascension.
Stopping on the rise. Being locked down right there. G4 still alive, and it's going to be a double knockout by Rich for setting up the fight on the red side. Ascension Gaming read it. TAT wanted to go for the engage, but did not respect the damage coming from Ascension.
Yeah, and Nixar really wanted to join that Realm Warp, flashes in for that Realm Warp, and I do believe that this will be the end of this game. Ascension Gaming will be taking down Team Anything.
But TAT still stood their ground. We did see some hope, but in the end, Ascension Gaming just wraps it up, closes the door with that